For comparison, this is the Kumamoto factory in Japan where the Africa Twin is made. The Honda Africa Twin, officially known as the CRF 1100L Africa Twin, is a dual-sport adventure motorcycle designed for both on-road touring and off-road riding. Although exact sales figures for the Honda Africa Twin in the United States are not publicly available, we estimate that around 2,400 units were sold in the US last year. It's part of Honda's long-standing tradition of making rugged, reliable adventure bikes inspired by their success in the Paris-Dakar Rally. This is Honda's primary motorcycle production plant in Japan, responsible for many of their high-end and large displacement bikes. The Kumamoto factory is known for its high-tech, automated assembly lines, but also incorporates manual craftsmanship, quality control, and final assembly stages, especially for premium models like the Africa Twin. Each Africa Twin goes through meticulous inspection processes to ensure durability and performance. Honda builds the parallel twin engine used in the Africa Twin directly at Kumamoto. The plant balances robotics for precision tasks such as welding, painting, with human oversight to maintain quality and performance standards. Final assembly includes rigorous testing for off-road capability, vibration, and engine response. Though built in Japan, the Africa Twin is sold worldwide. Honda ships models from the Kumamoto factory to markets in Europe, North America, Africa, and Asia. Reintroduced in 2016 as the CRF 1000L and upgraded to CRF 1100L in 2020 with a bigger engine, better electronics, and lighter frame. The Kumamoto factory employs around 2,500 to 3,300 associates depending on production demands. These skilled workers are responsible for assembling a diverse range of motorcycles, including the Africa Twin, Goldwing, and CBR series. A unique aspect of the shift changeover is the practice of Ragio Taiso, radio calisthenics, where employees engage in light exercises to promote health and team cohesion. The facility boasts a production capacity of up to 500,000 units per year, encompassing motorcycles and ATVs. Workers typically wear standardized uniforms designed for safety and efficiency. These uniforms often include coveralls or work jackets. While specific details about union representation at Honda's Kumamoto factory are not publicly disclosed, it's common in Japan for large manufacturing companies to have some form of labor union or workers' association. These unions typically engage in collective bargaining, address workplace concerns, and work towards improving employee welfare. Although they are not as strong or as influential as in the United States, even here they can negotiate decent working conditions. Japanese work culture emphasizes group harmony, loyalty, and dedication. Employees often participate in group activities and may engage in after-hours socializing, known as nomikai, to strengthen team bonds. Salaries at Honda's Kumamoto factory are competitive, reflecting the company's stature and the technical skills required. In comparison, the average salary in Kumamoto across all industries is approximately $3,470 per month. Employees at large enterprises like Honda often earn higher than this average. The Africa Twin is especially popular in Europe, Australia, Africa, and North America, where adventure and dual sport motorcycles have a strong following. It competes directly with bikes like the BMW GS series, Yamaha Tenere, and KTM Adventure series. Riders love it for long-distance touring, off-road adventures, and daily commuting, making it a true all-rounder. It's seen as a great balance of technology, comfort, and ruggedness. Honda offers it with manual or dual-clutch transmission, appealing to a wider range of riders. Honda is famous for bulletproof reliability, and the Africa Twin is no exception. Owners regularly report high mileage over 60,000 miles with minimal issues. Compared to some European adventure bikes, maintenance is simpler and less expensive. Regular service intervals and strong dealer support worldwide help maintain reliability. Many riders have taken the Africa Twin on cross-continental rides through Africa, Asia, and South America with little more than basic maintenance. The Honda Africa Twin has a dedicated following in the United States, particularly among adventure and dual-sport motorcycle enthusiasts. However, it is not among the top-selling models in the US motorcycle market. You are now watching the main assembly line, where workers in white overalls are gradually adding more and more parts to the motorcycle frame. Front and rear wheels are installed. Disc brakes, calipers, and ABS sensors are mounted and connected to the braking system. Proper alignment and torque settings are verified. Handlebars with pre-wired controls, clutch, throttle, switches are attached. Electrical connectors for electronics like the DCT, traction control, and ride modes are linked. The fuel tank is mounted and secured. Fairings, side panels, and front cowl are added next with attention to fit and finish. Decals or emblems are applied, depending on the model variant. The seat, often customizable between standard and rally-style versions, is installed. The exhaust system is bolted on and aligned, including heat shields and muffler. Each unit is placed on a rolling dynamometer to simulate real riding conditions. Technicians check gear shifts, especially DCT, throttle response, and emissions. A final visual and mechanical inspection is completed. Once approved, the motorcycle is sent for crating and shipment. The Africa Twin's single-piece subframe has been noted for its lack of replaceability. In the event of damage, the entire frame may need replacement, which can be costly. The standard windscreen has been criticized for inadequate wind protection, particularly for taller riders. Buffeting and wind noise at highway speeds can be significant, prompting many to seek aftermarket solutions. Many riders have found the stock seat to be uncomfortable, especially on long-distance rides. Complaints often include insufficient padding and lack of adjustability, leading to fatigue during extended use. In summary, the production of the Honda Africa Twin at the Kumamoto factory exemplifies a harmonious blend of skilled craftsmanship, advanced manufacturing techniques, and environmental stewardship, resulting in a motorcycle renowned for its durability and performance.